crash on Teesside. The wife of PC Matthew Blades called him a superhero and a devoted father. The family of PC Tom Clough said he was a hero who was always on public duty.
What we've really got to do is make sure Cleveland police officers have got the morale up and make sure that we support them and put an arm around their shoulders and make sure that they understand how important they are to us.
And the 5 young men in the car that drove the wrong way down the A66 and crashed into the officers have now been named. Also tonight. Britain will help Ukraine produce long-range missiles as the PM heads there to seal the deal. Mayors in England will join London, gaining the power to overrule councils on major planning projects. And no more golden locks, and today no goals for Erling Haaland as his dramatic haircut gets a mixed response from his mates.
You look like 17 years old. Change is good.
You lost a bet or what?
This is ITV News with Yasmin Bodalbhai.
Good evening. The families of 2 police officers killed in a head-on crash near Middlesbrough have paid tribute to them tonight. The wife of PC Matthew Blades said the pain of losing him is beyond words, and the family of PC Tom Clough have described him as their hero. Help for the families has also been pouring in. In less than 12 hours, an online appeal has raised more than £200,000. The officers died after a car being driven the wrong way down the A66 crashed into them on Saturday morning. The 5 young men in that car also died. They were named today. Emma Volney has the latest.
It's a tragedy that's caused unimaginable heartbreak and left many here feeling a deep sense of shock. Today, PC Tom Clough was described by his family as a hero with a fantastic sense of humour. He died alongside PC Matthew Blades, whose wife said their 2 young sons will grow up knowing what an incredible father he was and will always be. She said he was loved beyond words. The marked car they were in was struck by a Volkswagen Passat that was being driven in the wrong direction down the A66 near Middlesbrough in the early hours of yesterday morning.
You just don't want people to go out to work and not to come back.
To know that 2 young men, it's not much older than my husband, has died. I'm sure they've got partners, families, maybe even children. And fathers aren't coming home now.
Police have also named the 5 young men who died in the Passat. Theo Ray and Cole Worthy were just 17. Mackay Saddington was 18. While Michael Cahill and Jacob Matusiak were both 23. The Passat is believed to have been using cloned number plates. A security camera shows a vehicle speeding down a street, chased by police cars. The pursuit lasted 7 minutes, and police say they called it off 10 seconds before the crash. The tragedy comes just days after 5 teenagers died in a head-on collision after driving the wrong way down a motorway in Ireland. Here on the A66, Cleveland Police is continuing to review evidence, while coming to terms with losing 2 of its own.
What we've really got to do is make sure Cleveland police officers have got the morale up and make sure that we support them and put an arm around their shoulders and make sure that they understand how important they are to us, because this is my home, it's where I'm from, and the work they do matters a lot to me and the communities of Cleveland.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is urging people not to speculate on social media, while the police investigation remains ongoing. Emma Volney, ITV News.
Andy Burnham is headed to Ukraine for what will be his first international trip as Prime Minister. Tomorrow is the country's Independence Day, and Mr Burnham will arrive bearing gifts in the form of classified British missile technology. Ellie Pitt is here with more. Now, Ellie, this is a key moment for the UK's relationship with Ukraine.
Yeah, this is a significant present for Prime Minister Andy Burnham to take on his first visit overseas. Essentially, Britain is releasing its secret designs for parts of the French missiles, the Scalp missiles. And these weapons can go deep into enemy territory. They're used for planned attacks on fixed targets like heavy infrastructure and bunkers. The Scout missile is the equivalent of the UK's Storm Shadow missile, which we have pictures of and we're showing now. The UK has been giving a supply of the Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine, and they've been using them in the war against Russia since 2024, but those stockpiles are starting to run low, and so essentially giving these designs to Ukraine will allow them to start building and making these missiles in factories in the country, boosting their supply. It may be a while before that process is up and running, and could be some time before we start to see it having an impact in the war, but it is a sign of Andy Burnham's commitment to Ukraine militarily.
Okay, Ellie, thank you. A 4-year-old child has been killed in the latest Israeli airstrike in Gaza. 5 people were also injured by 4 missiles which struck a residential area in central Gaza. Locals say they were warned to leave by the Israeli military minutes before the missiles hit. Tens of thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate the outskirts of the US city of Reno, Nevada, ahead of a massive, fast-moving wildfire that's burned more than 13,000 acres. And England's cricket authorities are investigating after videos emerged of England and Durham fast bowler Bryden Carse in handcuffs following an alleged altercation at a Derby nightclub. Carse was not arrested. Mayors across England are to be given the power to overrule local councils on some major planning decisions. The plans would give them similar powers to the Mayor of London, but there are concerns that areas without mayors could be left behind and that power is being taken out of the hands of local communities. Philip Syme reports.
We will be pro-growth and pro-innovation.
The cabinet I chair is now a growth cabinet.
To drive economic growth.
We simply cannot afford to be a low-growth country.
Boosting Britain's sluggish growth has become the mission of every recent Prime Minister. The answer, according to our latest leader, is to get the country building by giving mayors more powers.
At the end of the day, it's local leaders who know best how to realise the full economic potential of their areas. These new powers will help them to do that and ensure we get good growth in every postcode.
They will mean that mayors will be able to green-light large housing schemes with more than 150 homes, office developments of more than 15,000 square metres, and buildings over 10 stories high. The powers to approve major energy projects like wind and solar farms could also come by 2028.
We go from a planning process to delivery at a very slow pace. One of the biggest problems we've got is risk, and it all sits with local authorities: political risk, technical risk, financial risk. And what the government's trying to do is de-risk the system effectively, make things happen quicker.
These are plans which form part of a wider agenda here in Downing Street to transfer power to elected mayors. The government believes it will put the country on a path to growth, but it could also put mayors on a collision course with local councils and communities.
This is all about taking decisions out of local communities' hands. It will mean that mayors of these regions who have little understanding of the local communities concerned will be able to second guess and overrule the planning authorities that have looked at this in a lot of detail.
The government says decisions will need to be in line with planning rules. The success of those decisions, though, will ultimately be measured in whether we all feel better off. Philip Syme, ITV News.
In today's sport, there was drama from the start at the Dutch Grand Prix. The home crowd favourite Max Verstappen crashed into the barriers on the very first lap, wrecking his Red Bull and ending hopes of a Dutch victory in the last ever Grand Prix to be staged at Zandvoort. The race was eventually won by Britain's Lando Norris, his second straight win of the season for McLaren. The Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli and George Russell finished second and third. On Tyneside, Newcastle and Liverpool came together to remember the late Kevin Keegan, and the great man would have loved the thrilling match that followed between the two clubs where he was revered as a hero. Here's Chris Cutter.
Two clubs united in tribute to one of England's all-time greats. They never forget a hero in these parts. In his Liverpool days, he would never walk alone. As a player and a coach, Keegan also breathed new life into Newcastle United. Legends came to say goodbye and thank Anger, very King Kev, just like old times. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
Finally, the other big story in the Premier League today wasn't a scoreline, it was a hairline. Manchester City's Erling Haaland shocked fans by taking to the pitch with a new clean-cut coiffure, replacing one of sport's most iconic barnets with a buzz cut. And he released a video of the whole transformation and some celebrity reaction. Here's David Harper.
Look, green onion looked like me.
Every now and again we get a star player who becomes so recognisable their image is known far beyond the world of football fans. In thousands of online videos, sparking a lookalike competition at the World Cup, and even, and I promise I'm not making this up, in a drugs bust in Ecuador. But the icon of the tall, blonde, blue-eyed, long-haired Nordic man is changing.
This beautiful blonde hair, time to let it go.
Even if fellow Scandinavian Zlatan Ibrahimovic has advised against it.
The only thing is, Zlatan told me, never cut your hair, because your strength is in your hair.
You ready?
I'm ready, yeah. Look at that. Can't wait for the fans to sing. Who the f***ing hell is that? I want Man City fans to sing that tomorrow.
I'm not sure if anyone did sing that when Haaland walked out for City's season opener against Bournemouth, but it definitely caught some attention. Could it be that a new style has affected the heading skills of City's star? Haaland!
What happened there?
Got a secret to show you, which you can't tell anyone. What do you think?
Hey, look, I'm 17 years old.
Just what Mrs. said as well.
Change, good change is good.
But most importantly, what about Zlatan?
What did you do? Oh my God, what the f is this? You lost a bet or what? Oh my God, block me and erase my number.
David Harper, ITV News.
I don't think you liked it. That's it from all of us here on the Weekend News team. Thank you for watching, staying up with us. Good night.